Hey, I can do video blogs.
Good day, and welcome to another episode of Jimmy Jaunt. So today's ride started out as usual. Met up with the group over at the gas station, had some coffee, some talk, and then we hit the road. So we ended up driving down, heading out towards Cedar Key. So we we're going to head to the west this time, over to the Gulf Coast, and have lunch there. It was probably going to be about a 300, maybe 320 mile ride today. So we got a halfway decent start, beautiful weather, and I think we had something like 12 or 13 motorcycles with us, so it was a good turnout. As we were heading out, I got to go through one of the corners I enjoy fairly well, and came around the corner, gave a little bit of a gap so I could do some catch up, and had some fun. But we found some more routes on that road that basically brought us to some more curves, and it was a good time. So as we continued on heading west, we went through the villages. You'll notice on the left side, that's the primary grounds of the villages. Very nice area if you're retired. And then at this point, Jody wanted to take a picture of Doug, so he decided to do a funny pose. And it didn't turn out, so he got to do it again. It's a good group we ride with, lots of fun people. And then we went across the Delion Springs. I'll have to look it up. I'll post it in the text on the screen. But this area off to the right there has a lot of tubing. During the summer when it's hot, it will be absolutely packed. It wasn't too bad today, mostly because probably most of the college students weren't around, or this is one of our first really warm days. And then at this point, Doug had to pull off and get gas. We had stopped at a gas station earlier, so I don't know why Doug didn't fill up, or perhaps he's getting really poor gas mileage, because we didn't seem to go very far before he pulled off to get gas. So we waited for a little while, let traffic clear, and then went across the road here, across the intersection, and waited for Dougie to finish filling up his motorcycle. So Doug got fueled up, came across the street, and we all started pulling up into our existing order, and then we took off and continued our trip. So we headed out, got out of town a little bit, got into more of a woodsy area. Very nice. And then we even got further into the woods and found some nice sweeping corners, beautiful sky, not too much cloud cover. It was a very nice day. Did get a little warm by the later afternoon, but well, that's to be expected. And there we passed a couple old school trikes, Volkswagen powered. And then we ended up getting over to Highway 98, and Dougie's in front of me, and you'll notice that his little do-rag or whatever he has on top of his head to protect his head from the sun flew off and of course went right under my front wheel. I don't know. Jody called it underwear, but I think it's a do-rag that he uses to keep the sun off his head. So that was dead. Poor Dougie. But later on in the video you'll see he has another one. So he carries a spare, so this must happen quite frequently for him. And here we got into Cedar Key. Went down towards the south, I guess. And then we did a turnaround, came back the other direction, and pulled into our parking spots. So we parked just a little bit off of the main road that goes out to the pier, and they have a little spot here for motorcycle and golf carts. But we were able to fit in there, so that was very nice to be able to have basically our own assigned parking spots. And then we went in and had lunch, had some ice cream, did a little walking around, and then we started heading back. So at this point I crossed the highway, and Jody signaled for me to go ahead of her. I wanted to make sure, so I waited for her second confirmation and then went ahead and got around her. And then shortly later, Joe went ahead and passed me. I couldn't remember his name. He got around me, and we got into our normal order of the ride from our last stop. And then here we started getting more into the farming area. Mostly it was horse acreage. A lot of places have stables out here, very nice homes with huge fences. I don't know how many acres they have, but we found a tight corner and then hit to more farmland or more horse area. Very nice area. I'm sure it's way out of my price league. This is the general area where John Travolta had his airport home, the home with its own airport landing field. It's on the other side of the interstate, but it's in this region of Florida. And these places are, I don't know if they're hundreds of acres or what, but even some of the homes that we went by, or some of these horse farms, or whatever you want to call them, ranches that we went by, even had their own racetracks, still with the white rail all around the whole perimeter. It was amazing. And there you'll notice Dougie has his hat on, or his do-rag. So I don't know what he was looking at, but it looks like he's all set to go. And this is one of the interesting bridges. I'm not sure, I'll have to look at the title of this section with text, but this is one of our longest bridges that I recall, up in the forest north of Orlando area. And it basically slopes up slowly to go above the tree lines, and even though it's a lot of swampland, there's really only one creek that's probably about the width of a semi-trailer. That is all we're crossing. So I don't know if this has a tendency to flood in this area, or if it's just really swampy water or land, and they can't build a foundation for a decent short bridge. But and then at this point we were waving off another rider who was going to go straight, and we were going to head south at this point and start heading home. And I gotta admit, I like this part. You'll see Doug here will go ahead and get in the left side, and I was going to get over to the right, and then I realized, you know what, I need to make sure that Gary is in the right lane, so I waved him forward. It was the first time I can recall that I actually got to wave him forward. So, thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you can catch the other videos that I produce. Alright, thank you, and have a great day.